Happy Facebook Live. Alright, so today I'm expanding on the last live that I did where I introduced very generally the four bodies, and so today I'm going to be fully fleshing out the physical body. I think I originally said I'd do the intellectual body first, and life had other plans. Anyway, so the physical body was the one that I actually rated the lowest on our inquiry that I invited us to do last week, and that was gauging our awareness, connection and comfortability to the physical body. So put a 5 out of 10, and where that is really coming from is knowing how much capacity and enhancement that I've still got to go in relation to my connection to my physical body. It has come a long way. If you had asked me a few years ago, it probably would have rated a 1, 2 at best, really. But because this is, this 4-body system, it's not in isolation. The work that I've done on mindset, the intellectual body, the work that I've done on my emotional body and energetic body, all of these have enhanced my ability to connect and be aware, and my perspective in totality about my physical body. So even though I haven't solely focused on my physical body, we've come a long way in 10 years in my relationship to my physical body. So recapping what I discussed about the physical body in the last video. So the physical body, here I am, I can touch it. There's no question, we all have a body. We all have this amazing meat suit that we get to play life at. Without this, nothing else happens. So, just that awareness and my gratitude and appreciation for having a body, whether it functions the way that I would like, irrespective. Without even an ill-functioning body, I'm not here. Okay, so when we talk about gratitude, I'm definitely grateful for my body, whether I've got a great relationship with it or not. So my tissues, my organs, my veins, the blood, my heart, my bones, the structural skeletal system, my nerves, the skin. The skin is the barrier, the boundary between what's in this body versus what's outside of the body. Okay, and it houses my nervous system. When we look at the emotional body happens largely within the physical body. Okay, so again, that symbiotic relationship, and I'm going to flesh out the relationship of the physical body with each of the other 3 bodies as well. Oh, that's annoying. Bear with me. I've got multiple windows packed in here, and it can get a little confusing. Alright. Okay, so let's just start off with one aspect. So there can be a lot of disempowerment around our bodies. So when you think about it, what control do we actually have in relation to our body? effectively I've got my heart and I've got these organs and they're all functioning unconsciously. I don't have to think about the fundamental basics of how my body actually operates. It just does it. I have no control over whether my heart is operating or not operating. Yes, there's decisions I can make that will benefit me in keeping my heart beating for a longer period of time. And ultimately, if for some reason my heart was to stop, then there's only so much control I've got in that instance. So one invitation here is, how often do you actually connect with aspects of your body? Actually sitting quiet enough to be able to actually feel your heart beating is a beautiful exercise to actually strengthen your relationship with your physical body. The heart is such a beautiful one to connect with. It's also a gateway to the emotional body. And yeah, there's so many nuances, there's so many layers to all of this. So any invitation is an invitation to experience for yourself, because it's going to be different for everyone, and we've all got so many experiences that have shaped our connections to our body. And so, the idea of sitting quiet enough to actually attempt to hear your heartbeat, for some, that's going to bring up a whole heap of stuff. Okay, there might be resistance there. And look, come at it from curiosity and compassion always in these instances, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and in doing things that we haven't done before, like sitting quietly and connecting with our heartbeat, that may reveal things for ourselves. So the heart is an obvious one. I love general meditations that go through and actually get you to relax each part of the body, starting at the feet, moving up. So connecting with your toes, breathing into your toes, breathing awareness into your toes, and then tensing and then relaxing, and then moving into the foot, breathing awareness into the foot. Can even thank each of these parts of our body as we go into them, tensing and relaxing, breathing awareness into ankles, moving up to the calves, so on and so forth, all the way through. And just that exercise, and quite often can just be a 10-minute meditation where we're breathing awareness into each of the aspects of our body, is again another beautiful way to enhance our relationship, connection and comfortability with our actual bodies. From a meditative perspective, it's the body that breathes. It's our lungs, it's our diaphragm, it's our pelvic floor. Having awareness about our breath and how deep we're breathing. Am I just breathing quite shallow, or am I doing full body breaths where you can actually sort of feel the back of your back actually opens up as well, and the muscles are engaging in the breath process. These are just beautiful things that I've had the opportunity to learn and play with, and have gained so much in doing so. A beautiful meditation, and I have to go through and find some of these meditations that I've created over the years. So many resources. Is calling all the energy back into the body. I've lost my train of thought. And creating an awareness of whole body. Okay, so feeling into the toes and then feeling to the top of your head, and sometimes it helps to actually just tap or press at the top of the head. There's less senses there sometimes, so to be able to give us an actual felt feeling that I can what's the word, attune to. So toes, top of my head, you get a full body experience there. You can also include in that feeling into the skin and feeling the container in which the physical body is actually held. So these are just some very basic beneficial exercises. I mentioned Philip Shepherd's work, and I will continue to. And his book, I believe it was Radical Wholeness, introduced me to the concept of interoception. And that means being able to sense internal signals from your body. So again, just, awareness, like, oh, my stomach's growling, might be hungry. Feeling the heartbeat, or noticing that perhaps I've overeaten. There's an overfullness sensation that I'm getting from my body, and this concept of interoception, and adding that to the primary senses that we experience the world with. So sight, hearing, touch, feeling. Okay, and adding that. So other exercises that I've done that are very useful is feeling into the space that is within the body, and that can be quite an opening and an enlivening method with connecting with our body. So often when we think about the physical body, we consider it from a health and an appearance way. That's very strong culturally, that we have been brought up to think about our bodies. We think of them quite often like machines, in that we often don't take them, we don't appreciate them until we're feeling really unwell, unhealthy, or we're suffering from strain and injury. When we consider things like health and vitality and our ability to heal, is that very often we have distorted ideologies about what our bodies are actually capable of, or what they actually need. We're so unique, we're so individual. Our physical bodies are actually insanely wise when given the opportunity, and quite often we're living in environments that are not conducive or beneficial for our bodies, and giving them the opportunity to thrive and heal. So a good example of that would just be, I remember doing health at school, and we learnt the food pyramid, and now in my 40s I know that the distortion of that food pyramid of what I believed was healthy to put into my body, and in actual fact for me personally, I had it all wrong. Okay, so I've learned that. I've discovered my digestive system is very slow comparative to most people. Okay, so I've had to, upon learning that, have made adjustments, and that has benefited my system as a whole. All right, so let's consider the physical body in relation to the other bodies. Okay, so if we consider the physical body to the intellectual body, okay, so a lot of us, we all have beliefs, things that we believe to be true about our bodies. Okay, we've got our perspective on our body, whether we like it or not. Okay, again, we're sadly very, very indoctrinated and very have distorted views about our bodies within our culture. I won't speak too much to that. That's a whole conversation on its own. What I would highlight is I was stoked for Australia Day this year with the awarding of the Order of Australia, and that going to Taryn Bromfit. I watched her docu-movie Embrace years and years and years ago, and to any client or any person that I'm speaking to who's talking about, you know, self-love, body confidence issues, that's a must-watch for everyone, men and women. Yes, it does largely focus on women. However, I don't believe the issues are specific to women. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I was stoked that she got that award this year. I really was. Another lady whose work I follow, she's also a coach, is Linaria Gaia. She's a body positive, body coach, self-love, confidence. Her work's amazing, and she gives a lot of really, really beneficial content out, and I haven't done any of her programs. She has got a book too that I can also recommend. But just acknowledging that largely a lot of our beliefs that we perhaps have about our bodies are largely distorted. Okay, so the invitation there is to get pen to paper and consider, what are some of my beliefs that I have about my body? Are they beneficial? Are they detrimental? Are they working for me? Are they supporting me in having the relationship that I want with my physical body? Or are there things there that are actually detrimental that I would like to change? Okay, and there's, you know, once we create awareness around things, then that's already part of that change process beginning. Quite often we don't even realize some of the things that we got going on. I know for me, I have said in the past that I'm at war with my body. And I'm happy to say no longer that is the case. I do exercises of going through and appreciating my body, what it gives me, the life that it allows for, first and foremost, and then, you know, as I said, creating awareness about some of the things that I've been doing lifelong that are not beneficial, was creating that wall, creating inflammation in the body, creating the severe stiffness and pain and stress going on in my system. So working on some of those beliefs has really supported my ability to connect and appreciate where my physical body. Physical to the emotional body. So how do you feel about your body? Do you love your body? Do you appreciate it? Or are you at war? Are you despising and hating on your body? Again, no judgment. Come at it with curiosity and compassion. It's like, well, where's that come from? Where did I learn that my body is not worthy of this love and appreciation? Okay, as I said, largely cultural, unfortunately. There's big businesses that make a ridiculous amount of money out of us not having a good relationship with our body and beating ourselves up and trying to change it. I use that word trying deliberately because that's putting a lot of energy into change and not actually having anything, no outcomes coming out of that. So how you feel about your body, but also how you feel in your body. Okay. I love these practices of creating awareness and connection and tapping into bodily sensation. It gives me so much pleasure and joy. It enhances pleasure and joy, ultimately, in how I move through life, because I'm doing it in this body. And again, as I said, this has come a long way. This morning, and one of the reasons why I'm focusing on the physical body is that I'm working with a lady who does massage. I originally started seeing her as a massage therapist. However, her skills are so much more than that, and she's a Ro Thai practitioner, which is a Chinese medicine, acupressure method, and she's been working with me, and it's about creating alignment in the body. Anyway, I was telling her today some of the benefits that I have noticed since I've started working with her, and she goes, wow, like, she really appreciated how much awareness I had about what was actually going on in my system, and able to verbalize and notice what was going on. And it's not the first time I've had a physical practitioner compliment me on that, so it goes to show the work that I have done. It's come a long way. It really, really has. So yeah, physical emotion. So how you feel about your body, and then how you feel in your body. Many people talk about that their connection to being in their body, it feels like coming home, and that has also been in my experience. It's my favorite place to be. I love it just as I'm falling off to sleep, or just as I'm waking, to sort of just slowly feel into my body. And because at that time there's minimal distractions, I haven't yet woken and started thinking about my day. I'm just enjoying the experience of being fully in my body, from the top of my head down to the tips of my toes. And that's such a really lovely way to start the day. So that's the physical to emotional. The physical to energetic. So this one's a really curious one. And when we get to energetic, we're talking about the things that are unseen. Okay, so you may have heard of people speak of auras before. Okay, seeing colours of energy around the physical body, and quite often if someone is really attuned to auras, they can actually identify things going on in the physical layer that they are actually observing in someone's aura, which is pretty phenomenal. I'm not one of those people. I have had my own aura experiences, however it's certainly not something that I have maintained or have as a skill that I would speak to. However, what I do speak to in terms of energy and our physical bodies is that quite often we are storing dense energy or energy vortexes within our body. Okay, so where we are suffering or feeling tense, this sort of flows into the emotional as well as the physical. Quite often people will say, well, I was in a yoga class and I just all of a sudden started crying. Okay, and that is through the movement, is that's tapped into some dense energy and has allowed that to shift, and the process of shifting that involved some movement, the actual expression of emotion that was actually sitting in behind that energy vortex. So these are all tightly interlinked. Okay, and that's why, like, I love it, because I can be only focusing on my intellectual and emotional bodies, and I can be having all these physical adjustments happening at the same time, whether it comes into awareness or not. you know, when we enhance our ability to tap into intuition and be able to really get in tune and be able to basically have conversations with our body, have our organs speak to us and let us know, Andrea, not sure that this is beneficial for me. Can you make a different choice? Okay, so you know there is so much scope for being able to tap into what's going on, not just at the physical level, but those interrelationships of intellectual, emotional, and energetic. With the creating awareness and the interoception of our body, in doing so and those practices, is that it allows us to pull our energy and our presence back into our body. For me, very unconscious for the most part of my life, is that I wasn't in my body energetically. What I do is that the moment someone else is around or lots of people are around, my energy goes out and into them. First of all, as a protective mechanism, it's like figure out who's dangerous and, you know, make sure I don't do anything to cause that person to maybe be dangerous to me. So it's a safety mechanism. It's also very useful in that my ability to feel into others and what's going on for them. Empathy, okay, is one aspect of that. I don't talk to it a lot, but yeah, it was really interesting, and it was thanks to COVID lockdowns that actually really allowed me to call all my energy back in and be present, because I wasn't interacting with people and disappearing energetically. So I've got to have that awareness of like, wow, okay, this is what it feels like to be in me. Amazing. And again, so just having conscious awareness now, even when I'm around people, I tap in and just go, oh, bring my energy back in, becoming conscious and aware and present in my body now. Okay, so yeah, so as you can see, it's not just one layer. It's like, this is the physical body. It's like, no, there's the relationship you have with your physical body, and then that physical body to the intellectual body, to the emotional body, to the energetic body. In terms of, you know, what things, you know, working out what is beneficial for you. You know, should I be doing yoga? Yes, that's for me, by the way. You know, what physical activities is beneficial for me. Again, it's realizing that perhaps I've got distortions about what I believe even a healthy physical body looks like, and that, you know, working out what works best for this physical body. Okay, there's so much advice that's thrown around in the media, on the internet, and it's really being able to discern and work out, yeah, okay, that's generic information, however, is that right for me? And having the awareness to be able to try something else out and then gauge and measure whether this is actually useful or beneficial to my body, instead of just jumping onto the next fad that everyone's sort of giving. So yeah, so that's the physical body. Hang on just a minute. Just checking. Alright, half an hour. Still a bit longer than I'd like. But anyway, we will get there. I'm just speaking to this for the first time, so I'll go easy on myself today. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what resonates, how you sort of gauge where you're at with your physical body based on some of the things that I mentioned there. Since my last live, which was only on Friday, I started the process of going back and downloading all the live videos that I've done, and it's quite humbling actually. Done, well, this will be my 78th live in the Joyflu group, and humbling, and also quite reinforcing some of the ideologies that I talk to in this group, like a little bit each day or a little bit every other day. Realizing that, you know, over the course of a few years, there's quite a there's a lot of content that I have spoken to, and it's been really nice going back, and I don't listen to all of them. If anyone's got notes that they've written on any of my lives, please send them through to me, and that will prevent me having to go back and listen to so many. But I'm basically downloading them all and then uploading them into YouTube. I did realize today that I'm probably not going to get all 77. I think I've uploaded about 55 into YouTube, but it's looking like the ones that I did most earliest you can't actually download. I need to do a bit of research and see if there's some workarounds around that. However, I'm pretty stoked that that there's still a significant amount that's been created over the journey. So, and what's really nice is with this model that I'm speaking to at the moment, all these things that I've done in the past can start to slot in at the different layers of this model that I am creating and presenting to you. It's not just the 4 bodies, there's a whole heap more that's going to be coming out of this, but it's an ongoing work in process, so the big picture of this will come in due time. By speaking to this, it's great because it's getting things bedded down. It's allowing the details of this model to sort of come to life, so thank you for that. So yeah, next live will be either the intellectual, the emotional, or the energetic. I'll let you know on the day. But yeah, thanks for listening. Yours, Enjoy, and out.